What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Sunday, December 5th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 3-game slate tonight. So let's take a look at the point guard position. Just real quick, what happened yesterday? I loved my value plays yesterday. I thought they were good picks at each position, but I think every single one of them was a flop. Now that's gonna happen, guys. I mean, it doesn't happen often where all 5 picks turn out to be pretty bad. Usually we go 3 or 4 out of 5 with good picks. But yesterday, wow, just an awful day for those value plays. That's what's gonna happen when you dig down deep into those value plays. They're high risk, high reward plays, but normally at least half of them, or 3 out of 4 of them, will do pretty well. So really disappointed with yesterday's picks. But let's move on here tonight. Normally what happens after a bad day of picks, usually the next day is pretty awesome. So I'm excited for these ones for you guys. So at the point guard position, I like Devonte Graham from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Houston Rockets, who have the 2nd worst defense overall, and they give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Devonte Graham has averaged 26.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. He's projected at 25.9 fantasy points here tonight, and that's 5.4 times value. He's only 4,800 DraftKings salary, 400 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 221 points scored in this game, and Devonte Graham has scored 18, 28, and 20 fantasy points in the last 3 games. But I like this pick because he played 31, 29, and 29 minutes the last 3 games. So he's got a great matchup here. He's playing a ton of minutes, super low salary, doesn't need much to get you value. And if he does put in a 30-plus fantasy point game, he'll crush value here tonight. And I like his price on both sites in a high-scoring game. So there's a lot to like about this pick. So I like Devonte Graham here versus the Houston Rockets. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Gary Trent Jr. from the Toronto Raptors playing the Washington Wizards, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They've been pretty good versus opposing shooting guards, but Gary Trent Jr. has averaged 29.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. He's projected at 29.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 5,900 DraftKings salary and the same price on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 212.5 points scored in this game, and Gary Trent Jr. scored 29 fantasy points in 34 minutes last game. So I like Gary Trent Jr. here versus the Washington Wizards. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Jae'Sean Tate from the Houston Rockets playing the New Orleans Pelicans, who have the 11th worst defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing small forwards. Jae'Sean Tate has averaged 27.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 28 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. He's projected at 28.8 fantasy points here tonight, but he's been playing more minutes the past couple of games, so I think he can score 32 fantasy points or more, get you 5 times value or more. He's 6,600 DraftKings salary, 800 more on FanDuel. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 221 points scored in this game, and Jae'Sean Tate has scored 36, 70, and 37 fantasy points in his last 3 games, playing 32, 35, and 27 minutes. So I like Jae'Sean Tate here versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks playing the Charlotte Hornets, who have the worst defense overall. They give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. John Collins has averaged 34.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. He's projected at 34.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.8 times value. He's 7,100 DraftKings salary and 400 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 224.5 points scored in this game, so a high-scoring game, and John Collins has scored 34, 32, and 36 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 32, 34, and 39 minutes. So I like John Collins, who has scored 35, 29, 41, and 46 fantasy points in his last 4 games here versus the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, moving on to the center position. So here's a value play for you. I like Precious Achiuwa from the Toronto Raptors playing the Washington Wizards, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing centers. Precious Achiuwa has scored 22.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He's projected at 25 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. He's 4,500 DraftKings salary, 400 more on FanDuel. He scored 25 fantasy points last game, played 34 minutes. So he's kind of a hit or miss guy. He only scored 11 fantasy points the game before that, and he scored 18 the game before that. But I do like his chances at hitting value here tonight. He doesn't need much. I think he only needs about 20 fantasy points to hit value. So I like Precious Achiuwa here versus the Washington Wizards. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.